That is absolutely flat. Hardly ever see it like this. The visibility looks amazing as well. So what we're doing and where we're going today? Today we're going to be going up to the Tovey. You probably can't see there, but the rock that's the furthest up, Grandam Fruit Rock, we're going to go there. And there's a lovely little sort of 250 ton steamer there called the Tovey. I can't wait, today's amazing. The weather's actually finally broken and I think summer might actually be here. I don't know what the temperature is now, it's probably about 18 or 19 degrees Celsius, so it's nice. Right, let's go and get all our gear on the boat and head out there. Mobile phone. Yeah, it's being affected. Got to remember that, even though we got this little thing here to put on mobile phone, it does affect the compass. So the boys are here. Molly, Paul and Matt today. Why is there so many seagulls here?
Someone just flushed the toilet.
Ah, is that where our sewage comes out?
Might be.
It's a feast.
As the shot starts its quick descent, it takes less than 14 seconds for it to hit the seabed. As the buffs go in the water and the tide takes its effect, it pulls the shot onto its side. All this commotion's caused a bit of a stir with these pelt as they come over to see what's going on. Plenty of different types of fish on this wreck. There's a large pollock swimming past here. only takes Matt and Paul a couple of minutes to get ready and get down the line. Now is the job of tripping the anchor. Whilst Paul ties into the shipwreck, Matt brings the anchor closer. It's a fairly easy task, but given this 40 metres, it takes slightly longer than it should do. We did add loads more footage, but Matt and Paul being Matt and Paul, they started doing some naughty hand gestures to the camera, so I've had to edit that part out. Now you can see while they're doing their dive, the strobe is lighting up the fish. With their dive over and the second lot of divers coming down the line, which is me and Molly, we've now got the job of checking the camera's still actually in place. And here I notice it's actually still on, which I wasn't expecting. Decide I'm going to turn the anchor back around to the shipwreck and see if we can film any more fish. Basically had 3 lots of 11 minutes of footage. Pretty cool, I could sit there all day watching the fish swim by. As me and Molly enter the water, we realise it is actually really slack. Look at this rope. Here's a very quick recap of what this shipwreck story is. Her name was the Mary Tovey and she sunk on the 10th of November 1899. She's 226 tonnes and she was launched on the 31st of May 1894. She was en route from St Sampson's to London with a cargo of granite chippings. We call them siftons. The owner was Alfred F. Tovey, with a manager of W.H. Poole. We're in for a lovely dive. The visibility looks perfect, and it looks like the shot is probably midship. I can't really tell. We're definitely on the port side. First drama of the day, my strobe wouldn't work. It's not a big issue, but I managed to fix it. We weren't quite sure what we're going to do when we get to the shipwreck, so we could make a decision to go left. Quick check it's tied on alright, and we're happy. So let's have a look at this, what's in the hold. These are siftings. These were heading to London for probably maybe construction of the road. She was a relatively small coaster, 120.2 feet long, 21.2 feet wide and 9 feet deep. She had a 2-cylinder and a single boiler. Now we've figured out where we are on the shipwreck. Molly's just realised we were swimming towards the bell. Let's start making some comparisons from the photograph we have of this vessel. So this is obviously a winch that's fallen forward. Let's take a look at the photograph we got of her. This is the wrong side of the ship, so we'll flip the picture and change the colour. Bit easier on the eyes. This is where our shot has landed, and if we pan forward towards the bell, which is the direction we're going, we can see 2 men, a winch and the base of that crane, or the derrick. So that's what this base is on the right hand side. I do actually really like doing comparisons with the photograph. It just proves again that this is actually the right shipwreck. The bell was found in 2000 by Willis Hughes. Here you can see some mooring bollards. This would have been the gunwale. There's a fair lead, and this is a ventilator tube. This would have fed fresh air down into the forecastle, the accommodation where the crew probably would have slept. For me, every shipwreck's got this iconic thing on it, and this is it for me. This round object, probably a doorway, a door frame of some sort. Just check our total time to surface. We're at 7 minutes. We got loads of time. Never remember this being this high or this much of the shipwreck left. Still see some of the original plates. It's just been shunted over a little bit. Probably due to the salvage which was done on this many moons ago by local fishermen. They were using dynamite, I think, to blow it apart to get to the non-ferrous. This is right up the bow. Look at it, it's so creased. Two things could have happened. One, it could have hit a reef and crumpled the front end, which is quietly unlikely because it probably would have rode over the top of the reef. Or the load was so heavy it went down nose first and crumpled into the seabed. This is what I'd put my money on. Another mooring bollard, and this is the anchor winch. Obviously they would have been for weighing the anchors. 170 bar and 7 minutes to surface. Sadly, all the crew for this boat were lost, with only 2 showing up in France in a boat. The steamer Mary Tovey left St Sampson's on Friday the 10th of November, fully loaded with stone for London. The weather was bad at the time and much uneasiness was felt. The Shipping Gazette of yesterday, 14th of November, contained the paragraph Mary Tovey, S. Cherbourg, November 13th. A boat containing 2 men were cast on the rocks at Sealville today. The occupants of the boat were drowned in spite of the heroic efforts of the Dillet lifeboat to rescue them. Identity of the men is not known, but the boat has on her stern the inscriptions SS Mart Tovey, question mark, brackets Mary Tovey, Newcastle. We believe the Mary Tovey must have foundered in or near the Race of Alderney.
So, who was the crew that were found in the boat? Well, after doing some research in their local newspaper, I found the funeral of Louis Edward Pauls and John Jack McAllister. They had funerals, so this means it's probably them two that were found in the boat in France. Both died at a very young age, with Louis being 29 and Jack being 36. Also the other crew, such as the captain Benjamin Nicol of Port Gordon, Dufftown, Scotland, also leaves a wife and a large family. Or able seaman John MacDonald, Fred Finley, Joseph Chamberlain, second engineer, and William Kennington, fireman. And there's also another one, an able seaman which I couldn't get his name. Take a look at how crumpled this front is. It's well and truly smashed. It almost looks like it's gone head on into a wall. Something's hit it very hard from this direction. So we've done a very small circuit around the bow area. Not that much to see anymore. Obviously the top's come off, but there's still the bottom of the hold. Plenty of cargo left. So I'm into deco now, but we're still good. I'm going to wait until I get to about 15 minutes, maybe 16 minutes in total time to surface. And then I'll start heading back up. Looks like there's a flange of some sort. All the cargo spilled out the side. It's all over the seabed. It's someone else's old shot line, or their tether anyway. They've just cut it away and kept the shot line and just left the tether. Let's go back into the front hold and have another little look at this cargo.
It's quite interesting to see what colour this cargo is. We get different coloured granite in Guernsey, depending on which area of the island you're from. Out from Cobo it's more of a Nice, a pinky colour, or maybe gold a little bit from Grand Rock area, or dark blue from the north of the island. Let's take a little look. It's quite hard to figure out what's what there. It's so covered in sea life. I could actually look on the consignment and see which quarry master these come from. So we had 4 main ones, 3 of them being from the UK and 1 of them being local, Mr. Fuller. Little conger hidden underneath the plates. Let's take a swim now down towards the boiler. Then will probably be the end of our dive and have to come back. Total time to surface 10 minutes. I'm doing okay actually. I'll give it another couple of minutes. So we swim down the starboard side, would actually be below the deck, if the deck was still there. This is one of the fair leads. It's where one of the ropes would have come out. There's a light bulb, sea squirt inside there. We're now up against the bulkhead, which would have been between the hold and the boiler room. So let's take a look. Not quite sure what all this stuff is. Probably hatch covers. This is probably the side of the boat. Maybe the wheelhouse above the engine room. And this is the large boiler. It's a single boiler. It looks like Molly's found a sheet of glass. It's square, so I'm not quite sure what that thing was for. Here you can see the stays. These are holding the boiler down. Check there, look. There's a candy striped flatworm there. It's 11 minutes total time to surface, so we better head back to the shot line. We're probably 15-20 metres away from it now. Just starting to enjoy ourselves as well. But we better head back. I'm on a single 15 130 bar left. This is going to last me all the way back to the surface and do my deco. This boiler stay's been broken, look at this. It doesn't go anywhere anymore. This part of the shipwreck is what's left of the wheelhouse. So basically the wheelhouse has just collapsed down onto the seabed now. Not much of it left. I'm sure when they were doing the salvage work they were pulling stuff off to the side of the wreck to clear way to get to the non-ferrous. And there's Mole, he's waiting for me. Just one quick last check. You can see the shot line is pretty slack, to be honest. We'll leave it at slack water, but it's actually heading in a westerly direction, so when we retrieve the shot it's not going to get pulled into the shipwreck. We might just give it a little pull as we go up as well, just to make sure we've pulled it away from the shipwreck. I don't want to be losing my GoPro. which is still strapped to the anchor. I've already clocked a few extra minutes now from what I wanted, and 110 bar. That should get me back to the surface. 14 minutes total time to surface. Let's go. As me and Molly cruise for our deco, we got 1 minute at 9 meters, 2 minutes at 6 meters, 5 minutes at 3 meters, 3 minute safety stop, and we're back on the surface.
Well, there you go, that's a Mary Tovey. I'd say that one, I'm not quite sure who found that one. Probably Richard. Now the boys are changing their tanks and we're going to start heading over to the other side of the Little Russell, down towards the Plat Fougere. I think it's the first unmanned lighthouse in the British Isles, and the sea state is absolutely flat. Change your tank, straight back in again. Lovely. Fingers crossed we might see some nice stuff out here. Might see a big ray, or flatfish, or possibly a tope, or a shark, or smoothie. That's all wishful thinking, because we probably won't see anything. But you've got to be optimistic. Always be optimistic when you get in the water that you can see anything. That's the same thing with all sorts of fishing. You don't know what you're going to catch, or if you're going to catch anything at all.
Ridiculous.
Hey!
We were wondering who the extra person was. It's just like apparition.
Have you left us any?
The big ones.
Oh, we're going to pop back up to 35 metres up that way.
Yeah.
See you in a second.
Yeah. See you later.
That's nice to see Phil and Jen, Nick Man, and it looks like that's Paul in the water.
Well, it's boat 1319, this is Seneca, Scallop.
Let's get some divers ready. Almost there, almost there. Time to get your gear on, we'll be ready.
What we got on the sounder?
We've got 36 on the sounder, but it's just gone into a trough.
Boat 1319, this is Seneca, Scallop. Roger, many thanks. You'll stay with Seneca, Scallop until you pass south of Berry Head. Over.
I think you're probably good here, boys. You're seeing 37, but it's getting shallower.
That's it. That's exactly what we do.
It is slack. Here they come. He's bobbing.
No, that's his boy.
Alright, let's go, because Matt's bobbing. Not a bad bag.
Oh, that's his boy. Oh yeah.
Not a bad one there, eh? That's two decent
That's
bags.
excellent.
For the Plat, that's good.
That's good for the plan.
It's now mine and Molly's turn to go down and see how many scallops we can liberate. Up the Plat, it's really nice diving, quite deep, but it's always hit and miss with the scallop. But it looks like Matt and Paul have done very well for today. 35 metres is a long way down when you're falling. Lovely blue waters as well. Fingers crossed, I think the viz is going to look very good. Still dropping. Any minute now. There we go. There's the seabed. Seabed around here is loads of gravelly sand, more sand than gravel, and then as you get shallower it goes up onto what people call the slabs. So they're large slab rocks, not very high, maybe a metre high, but loads of scallops. When they're there, there's loads of scallops up around the slabs. So me and Molly just get ourselves sorted, make sure we're okay, and let's head out. You can see the tide is, we're going with the tide. This is a drift dive. There's one hidden below that one. That was an empty shell. That's a nice one. Look at the size of it. Clean as well. Look at this. This is an old oyster shell with star sea squirts on. This one could be a star of obsidian. I should really learn to look up a bit more. I almost swam straight into that. It's a baby cat shark. We call them locally dogfish. Too small. One thing I've noticed is there's a lot less starfish this year. It could be a good thing for the scallops. Well, any bivalve. We're just starting to get into a rhythm now. These scallops are coming thick and fast, which is good. We're just drifting along in the tide, picking them up as we go. Using no energy, nice and easy. I saved him. He's probably going to live another day longer than he would have. I'm sure he'd be grateful for it. Now just started coming into the area that looks like slabs. The scallops very rarely go past 150mm or 6-inch, but what they do is they tend to get fatter or deeper. See this? See, it's a lot more curves on the bottom. It is hard to see. It's a lot easier when you see it alongside a normal scallop. So why don't we come up here diving more often? Well, the main reason is weather dependent. It's quite exposed up here and it can be prone to some fairly large swells. Also, it's always hit and miss. Some days you do well, other days you don't. So we're better off just staying close to the harbour. Really clean on the underside, really white. We're now well into deco. This is our second dive past 35 metres. So we need to just take it easy and decide when we're going to go up, leaving enough back gas to carry out our deco. I think that's me done now. Yep, 80 bar left, that's more than enough to get back to the surface safely. It's a compass jelly, I haven't seen one of these for a while. Jellyfish are only just starting to show up now. That's not a bad bag. It's weird though, check out this like a luminous seaweed on the outside. Yeah, that one's a decent one, Mo. Look how wide it is. More importantly, look how fat it is. Always tend to give my bag a little jiggle. Yeah, look at this, a luminous seaweed. Weird, we get that down near the harbour as well, but it seems more so up here. So I tend to have a little look over all of them, because last time I took a nudibranch up with me, a little brown one, the size of this one. Get that out so you can have a little look. That's at least 135mm for sure, maybe bigger. Oh well, Richie will be happy with some big ones.
Flat. It's eerie. Sort of scallops out, Mo. My dotted. Oh, I can see one that looks suspect. They're not massive, but look at the girth on it. Yeah, that's what I like, the girth. Look how deep it is. You don't get them that deep. Woo.
Rushdale beacon still hanging off the back. Got knocked off a while ago and I'm unsure the harbour even know what to do with it. Some cracking collars on these, are like tiger stripes. Really nice ones. It looks small, this one, compared to the others, but it's well in size.
It's all the way up.
Oh, right.
Today we all decided to take some home to have a barbecue.
Look, Richard, Matt Can shock, look.
Shut up.
Thanks for doing that. Look at that. Mo wants a dozen. They are humongous.
Hey? I can do something if you want some.
Go on then.
See.
I don't know what to do with them, but
Eat them.
Don't take them if you're not going to do anything with them.
I feel left out. They look so good.
What's
as well.
it?
Keep going.
The white bit's the male bit and the orange bit's the female bit.
They look so good.
Boring bits the female.
Hold on, we're not ready yet.
You can see it bleeding into each other.
I'll have all the small ones, alright?
That's the abductor muscle. That's where it's attached. Cut that off. And what's that orange jelly
Put
stuff?
this in the key next to his
Look at
boat.
that! Look at that!
Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, probably.
Yeah?
Beautiful, lady girl.
Boss?
Richard would be like, oh my god, look at the way he's doing it. Oh no, it's terrible.
Who cares? It's out and it's clean and that's it.
Look at that, isn't that nice? Eh?
Look at that. You got 2 thumbs then? You had 2 thumbs.
I'll put this next to Margaret.
I would. I've always said that was one for here. Check in the box.
He's got a bag.
There's a bag one. I think that's Margaret.
Oh no, there's nothing in it. Oh God.
Was it not this?
Anyone think he's female, eh? Always gonna be right.
He is always right. That's so colourful, eh?
They're beautiful, eh?
Beautiful.
She don't want to come in. That is you then, John Marie.
Thanks for coming along on another dive. If you enjoyed that, please subscribe, leave a comment and put the thumbs up. Thanks a lot, and I'll catch you on the next tide.